Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Luke MacDonald of Chasing Luma. The band has just released a fantastic new record called You Need to Water Flowers for Them to Grow, and I am super excited to talk to him all about it. Luke, I want to thank you sincerely so much for coming on today. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Just sitting in my
Nice.
air-conditioned room, kind of escaping the humidity.
Same. There's a fan sitting right here. It is pretty nice in here at the moment, and yeah, not much to complain about. I got to be honest.
Yeah, same here, all as well.
Very cool. Well, I want to hop right into it. As I mentioned right before we started recording, this record is great. It is just straight up a fun time, and it takes so many cool twists and turns, and like it's brave also. Like it doesn't stick to the same thing, which I love. First thing I really want to know about is what is it about? Is it a series of like individual stories, or did you go for like an overarching sort of concept?
Yeah, I feel like the concept thread is not super strong. I wouldn't really call it by any means a concept album, but it's more of just like a snapshot of a part of my life, I guess. And yeah, every song, like you said, is kind of its own individual story. And I guess like the overarching concept would be just like lessons and things I like kind of wish I was able to tell myself like after I already went through it. Like if there was another version of me that had already gone through the same thing I went through, like
Sure.
things I would kind of look back and like say to myself. So sometimes there is like, lyrics in the songs that's like almost talking to a previous me to say like
Totally. No, I love that though. I mean, listen, it gives you the opportunity to get your feelings out there, and it's going to act as a time capsule for when you listen to it in 5 years from now and you go back, you're to see how much you change, and it's going to be amazing.
totally, yeah.
Totally. So I wanna kind of clear this up. Is it you in a band? Is this a solo project? I
Just a
wasn't.
solo project, yeah, just
That's
me.
even
So
more
I
impressive.
oh, thank you. Yeah. So I produce, like sing, play all the instruments.
Dude,
Yeah.
how long have you been playing for? Because for someone to be a multi-instrumentalist and be able to sing is just like, yeah, the only word is impressive because I can't even imagine putting myself
Yeah.
in that
Thank you
situation.
so much. I appreciate that. I basically like got into music as an overall whole when I was like 8 years old. Like I got a like bad guitar at like Radio Shack or something. It was like $40 acoustic guitar.
Yep.
And honestly, from there, I feel like that changed my entire course of life. And I just like kind of tunnel vision music since then. There was really no dimension in my mind that said like I wasn't going to be doing music in some capacity for the rest of my life. So it kind of started there. And then I was in like a band when I was in like middle school and we broke up. And I was like, well, dang, I got to like keep making music somehow. Like
Right.
I don't have a drummer. I don't have,
Yeah.
another instrumentalist with me. And that was around the time like the Skrillex wave hit and like
Sure.
producing music like was this new thing, and it was really exciting, and I was kind of into like I don't know, emo and like punk stuff.
Yeah.
So like it's such a funny like origin story, but yeah, like dubstep music almost mirrored that like halftime headbang
Oh
kind of
yeah.
thing in this really new foreign like way. So that was kind of my gateway into producing music. And then so I was kind of like on that wave for quite some time. And yeah, then I guess a few years ago, I just kind of like sat back and was like, I'm not really like listening to this wave of like, dance music. I
Yeah.
think it definitely shines through in some of my production, like that's kind of where I came from. But yeah, I was just like listening to, yeah, like more indie music, rock music, and just like bands and all that stuff. So I guess like the goal of the album and like starting this project was to kind of start fresh and let it be a more true reflection of like me as a person. Like
Right.
my number one goal was like I want this music to sound like unapologetically like just me. If anyone knows me, I want them to hear that and be like, oh my god, that's
That's the
so Luke.
best.
Yeah.
But that's the thing though, it's like, especially as a solo artist, it gives you the opportunity to have full creative control, do whatever you want. but people also don't realize that you are the one spending so much time and energy actually putting it together. If you're not proud of it at the end of the day, and it's also not something that you'd listen to in the car by yourself, then like what was the point? What was the point of
Exactly.
spending all that time?
Yeah,
So
I'll
dude,
shamelessly listen to my stuff. Like
you
I
absolutely should. You should never be
yeah.
ashamed to. I fully respect it. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and it's something that I also want to touch on is, like I said, there's definitely like a cohesiveness to the record, that's for sure. But there's also a ton of different genre influence and inspirations coming through. There's no right answer here, but I'd love to hear it from you. If you had to sort of like give an elevator pitch of what this album is to the person that hasn't listened before, how would you describe it?
Oh, I feel like that's like the hardest question you could ask because it's like
Yeah, and
I
there's
feel
no
like
right answer.
yeah,
And you
I
can
feel like
stumble all you want. It's
yeah, I
fine.
feel like I still haven't figured it out, a few days before the album came out. But
Awesome.
I guess the best way I would describe like the genre it falls in is like it's somewhere between pop music, electronic music, and indie music, all
Yeah.
just like making sweet love together.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
crossroads
basically it.
between the three. And yeah, I guess it's like just the sound of someone like, who's kind of down bad and was finding their way, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah,
Totally get it. And I would never want to rush someone into making more music because I know art takes time. But are you the type of artist that is always working on the next thing? Or I suppose, do you have demos that didn't make the record that you might save for another project?
definitely.
Okay.
I'm always making stuff in some medium or another, like
Love it.
whatever it is. So I probably wrote like 70 to like 80 demos for the album, like
Wow.
all in various stages of like completion because it was a really
Okay.
long period in where I kind of decided that a full length project was what I was going to do.
Okay.
So there was just like a long period of allowing myself to fail and not letting it, I guess, mentally destroy me because for a while that's what it kind of was feeling like making a song and spending time and kind of just like getting nowhere. And that was really like I don't know, just kind of destroying me. So I think I hit a point where I was like, I am going to, start fresh. I'm going to just sit down every day. And this obviously, like the lockdown period was where this idea kind of started because suddenly, like, all my time just opened up completely.
Yeah.
Well, this is a great time to kind of
Damn.
do this thing that's already been looming in the back of my head for quite some time. So I made the commitment to just like sit down every day and try and just get an honest portrayal of my tastes into, an MP3 file. And if I failed, it's okay. So I just kind of did reps. I just did that every day. And yeah, funny enough, there's like two songs I cut from the album, like I think like weeks before I submitted it to distro. It was originally 10 tracks, but there were two that just didn't age quite as well for me. So I
It's
was like,
okay. I'm just trying to wrap my head around how you went from 70 to 80 down to 8. But like, that's a whole nother conversation. But it also is like, I bet that they're quality and that you're second guessing yourself. So, I mean, that's another thing is like, as a musician, you don't well, I mean, you realize it, but everyone else doesn't realize that you probably listened to these songs thousands of times over and
definitely.
over and over. And the more you hear them, the more you probably hate them, and you don't
Yeah.
want to hear them anymore. And so, yeah, the elimination process of going down to that to eight is just like straight up wild. But I congratulate you for doing it. You did it. You're here.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
weight is off your shoulders. Um, and so yeah, so it sort of begs the question for the future now is like, do you think that you'll be looking to experiment? Would you take these songs, put them on another project, and maybe tweak them in some way?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I treat like the exports folder as just like a recycling bin. Like
Yeah,
they're all reusable. And
sure.
yeah, there's like songs on the record that even were like two ideas kind of combined together.
Yeah,
And like it's all for something. Like it's never a waste of time to just
sure.
like make an 8-bar loop and save it. And maybe you'll just be scrolling through and it's almost like my folder of all my bounces of these demos and stuff I make. it acts as like a scrapbook for me. Like
Right.
it's like all just kind of a screenshot of like a day or a moment
Makes
that I
sense.
kind of like went through. And yeah, like as you kind of heard on the record, I definitely like have range in like genre fluidity, I guess. So every day is just like I might just like make a drill beat or something for fun.
Yeah, man, whatever inspires you. Do what
Yeah,
you gotta do.
you just never know what could inspire you that day
Yeah.
to make something fresh. So yeah, I'll
Um,
definitely there will definitely be scraps of some old stuff in the next batch.
Love it. A deluxe edition, a super deluxe, and save it for years down the road, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, let's go.
There you go. Where does the artist name come from?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Yeah. So I actually struggled so hard with finding something. And
Yeah.
I was just thinking of like, I don't know, what just really deep thought of like uh what music is kind of representing to me. And I guess like chasing Luma is me because my first name is Luke MacDonald. So the first two letters.
I get it.
So, and Luma is also the light. So, I don't know, making music is almost like chasing the light and chasing myself for me.
Hell
It's
yeah.
constant, I don't know, self-discovery and learning about yourself. So that was kind of the concept for that. It's self-actualization and yeah.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad I asked because I would have never made that connection, but
Yeah,
actually, that
exactly.
makes sense. Now, here's sort of an impossible question. There's also not a right answer, but I'd love to hear it from you, especially as a solo artist. How
Got
do
you.
you how do you know when a song is finished?
I never do.
You're
I
just
never
when you're
do.
sick and tired of
When I'm sick and tired and I give up and I've gone through probably like four completely different versions and I'm like I almost need to let something sit for a while for me to have more of an objective opinion. Like
Sure.
I will get to a point where I'm like this could be done in someone's mind and maybe I'll leave it for a month and like not listen to it
Um,
and just kind of return to it and be like, okay, like there's nothing I hear when I'm listening, like in my car, listening through a phone speaker. Like I feel like all those different places and environments really help to kind of have more of an objective opinion. Cause sometimes you listen on like a different system than, just your desk or your studio or whatever.
totally.
And you just hear it so different. And it's like, dang, if I was a person listening on my iPhone, like this wouldn't really hit. So
Totally. No, you have to give it the old drive test. Like, does
yeah,
this hit
totally.
when I'm cruising? Like, you know what I mean? It's all different situations,
Yeah,
scenarios.
that's the most important listening environment for sure. It's got a bump in the car.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
And also
Uh,
just like a network of friends, I guess, like to kind of
sure.
into and that know my standard well enough.
Yeah.
I'm really blessed to have, a great support group of friends who also, make music and know my own standards for music.
Totally.
So it's
But
definitely really
friends that need to be honest instead of
yeah,
just like, yeah, man, that was great. Like, you did a fantastic job here.
yeah, that's like the least helpful thing I think a
Yeah.
friend can say. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really happy to kind of have that vibe within our group to be really honest and know that it's from a place of like I really want this song to be good
Yeah.
as it can be. Like this idea is so good and I will like hold your hand to make it, as good as it can be. So that's really
Absolutely.
nice.
Is there something that you look forward to the most when like embarking on a new album or a song?
Well, yeah. Well, this is my first album, and I mean, it was just like the idea of an album was so exciting because it was uncharted territory. Like I
Right.
had made EPs in the past,
Sure.
on some level and in different genres, but an album was this new uncharted territory, and also just like by far my favorite medium to consume music in. So yeah, I guess the thing I don't know, it's always the moment that like it's really hard to even put into words. I don't even think there's words in the language to say it, but that
Sure.
moment when everything clicks in a song, like you have, I don't know, drums and chords and that's feeling okay, but then you like hit a vocal melody just out of nowhere and it's just like it just pieces everything and then
Awesome.
immediately you hear like the rest of the song like in your head. I think those moments are really like what I do it all for every
That's so
time.
awesome, man. That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Have you played shows, or is it something that you have planned in the future?
So yeah, I mean, I guess since being into music is such like a long journey, like yeah, I've definitely played shows
Yeah,
in kind of different context. Like I used to DJ, so I played some DJ
there you
shows
go.
and such. And then like when I was way younger, did like, acoustic sets at like the coffee shop or whatever, like a talent show, like
Sure,
all.
sure.
But as far as like a Chasing Luma show, I haven't done any sort of live performance, but it's definitely something I really want to do down the road.
Nice. I mean, yeah, you don't need to rush it, and it's tough because there's clearly so much going on instrumentally that I can't imagine you up there trying to do it by yourself. It's like you
Yeah,
need
totally.
you need to put a band together, or like I'm sure a backing track, something like that. But again,
Yeah.
no rush, man. You make it
I've
work.
started to I've started to R&D that a little bit with just like kind of a Ableton live set and just kind of choose the most important elements. Like
Yeah,
I don't know, some of the more guitar based songs, like
sure.
pick up the guitar and have backing for that. But yeah, like I don't know, I can definitely envision like way down the road if things keep going well, just like a full band set would be so
One day,
cool.
one day.
Yeah, one day I would love to get.
Okay, so for those that have not listened, what two songs would you recommend that they check out that you think best embodies the feel of the record?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great question. I would say Hollow and hmm, I think Hollow and Quitter are the two that really
Okay,
stand out as fully encapsulating like that kind of genre crossroads. I
great.
feel like both of those songs really kind of pull from all of those, three different
Sure.
worlds that I'm somewhere between. And yeah, but yeah, Hollow, I think is like the first song I would show anyone that, I'm introducing the project to, because yeah, that one really stuck immediately.
Very cool. And then I will follow that up by saying I still recommend that everyone listen uninterrupted from start to finish.
Thank
But if you're an impatient person, then check out those two. But don't be impatient.
totally. Yeah.
Totally. Okay, I've got a few more for you. I want to know what hypothetically lofty goals. What's the next year looking like of your life, ideally?
Yeah, I mean, I guess yeah, I've already kind of started. I think it's going to be, singles for the next while. I want to let the album breathe a little bit and kind of do whatever
Absolutely.
promo I can do with that and just continue to kind of try and put myself on the internet in front of as many people as possible.
Totally.
And yeah, just kind of like I don't know, think beginning those like R&D for live show eventually for like a one-man show would be great. And yeah, honestly, I would love to just open the doors of collaboration more. Just been really enjoying working with other people and just like getting my hands into other people's music and kind of slowly letting other people maybe get their hands into mine. I'm totally open to, that level of collaboration. Music to me just
Absolutely.
feels so inherently like collaborative. And the second I've like sat down with, I don't know, more people in the room when making a
Yeah,
song, it's just you second guess yourself so much less. It's really great.
totally. I mean, but yeah, especially as an independent artist and someone who's like still on the rise, it gives you the opportunity to really put yourself out there, take big risks, do whatever you want, and not have someone tell you, no, this is the right way or the wrong way. Because in the music industry nowadays, as I know that you know, there is no step 1 through 10. It's like a shot in the dark, and
It is
it's
uncharted
just
territory
do
right
what you
now.
got to do. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, so really, yeah, just kind of keep doing what I'm doing, just like posting into the internet void and just hoping for that moment that maybe breaks something. But
Totally,
yeah,
man.
I'm content. I'm content with it
There
and
you
yeah, just
go.
working on the next batch.
Very cool. And what are you listening to? Are there any local bands that you can recommend, or just like a band that you're like, why isn't everyone listening to these guys? They're great.
Uh, Let me just take a quick look. See, my
Please.
my range is so vast in what I listen to.
I had a feeling it was
Yeah,
pretty out there.
like
Love that though.
I've been really into Domi and JD Beck's new album.
Same. It is
Yeah,
very good and
it's so good.
honestly very long awaited too.
Yeah,
Like I was watching their stuff on YouTube for years, and I was like, okay, these guys need to get an album. Yep, here it is,
and here
and
it
it's
is.
been
Here
pretty
it is.
solid.
I really like. I know I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but Biba Doobie, I think.
You know
Pun
what?
intended,
That's
yeah,
how I pronounce it.
yeah. The new record from her
Yeah,
is really great. I've been listening to that.
totally.
Definitely anticipating 1975's new records.
Sure.
Those two new singles are
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
And yeah, that's like the
Yeah.
three that are kind of on rotation right now.
No, you have great taste, as I'm not surprised, and it shows in music.
Thank you.
Um, okay, I've got one more for you. I
Sure.
basically want to know, for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that is going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Well, that's a great question. I guess I'd just like to say welcome. Thank you for giving me a chance. And if you do, like, I don't know, I think my future is unpredictable. I'm gonna continue to experiment, but I think the one thing I can promise as an artist is it will always be authentic and as possible and very true to just me as a person. So I guess if you mirror some of my same tastes and also molds, you know, uh, sorry, yeah, stuttering a little bit here.
It's okay. No right answer.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a hard thing to say, but yeah, I guess I'm just grateful for anyone who takes a second to listen. And yeah, I hope you stick around. Hopefully your music taste grows in the same direction as mine. And yeah, I'd love to just build eventually a community of like-minded people that, you know, can just love each other and yeah, that's what I want. That's my utopia.
Great, great answer. Great answer.
Yeah.
Luke, I want to thank you so much again for taking the time to come on. And please let me plug your music for you one more time. The artist's name is Chasing Luma. The album's name is You Need to Water Flowers for Them to Grow. And we will have links so that people can listen and share and follow along, do all that fun stuff. By the time this is out, the album will be out. And again, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time. It means a lot.
Yo, and thank you for having me. Like, I so appreciate it. And I'm so happy to have the outlet to kind of talk about it because, yeah, I feel like I could go on for a long time. So, really appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, I look forward to speaking soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
All right. Cheers. Thanks so
Talk to
much.
you later. Bye bye.
Later.